All right, as we all know, well, first of all, this is Grillenheimer. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Um, Wave 3 is here, and this is just a bunch of what I have, and I do not have a lot. I do have a lot, but I don't have everything. And this is all about the star counts, and something's going to have to change. Now, there's some cheat sheets over here, and if you can tell, I had to go to the store. I went to Walmart and had to get some necessities, some big necessities, some fluorescent bulbs for the basement, some hoses, air filters, um, just regular things that aren't even staples that we don't buy very often. And lo and behold, they actually had Wave 3 packs, and I went ahead and just got two. And if you can see who I have, I picked up uh, Private Sideswipe and Sergeant Hound, and which they seem really good cards. Hound is nothing in vehicle mode, but he does have a good uh, upgrade and get +2 during your turn for his robot mode. In the meantime, sorry, I got all this stuff all over the floor. Sideswiper, excuse me, Private Sideswipe. When you flip, you get +2 to attack to the end of your turn for each character in your knockout area. So this would be a character that would be best to use in the last of your run before they all get untapped, so to speak. So if you attack, and really on either side, when one of your characters is KO'd during your opponent's turn, which means when yours is getting knocked out, then you get to untap it. So for Sideswipe, it's all about retaliating against those that have been knocked out during battle, so to speak. Which is and I don't know much about the current comics. I read the Dreamwave comics and some of the starting of the IDW comics. I finished the last 20 of the story run of the original Marvel comics that IDW did, I believe, which were okay. They were good, and I collected them. And past that point, I haven't been in comics since. It's just got too expensive, and having kids and yada. Anyway, life happens, and then card games happen. So, but I got these two guys, and I got the little ones. I got Private Tote, who was the first one to ever be released for Wave 3, and Raider Visper, 5-star. And they're both, look like they're going to be pretty common little cards. These are not battle masters. They're not guns. They're not upgrades. They're just tiny characters with tiny stats, which I just find confusing. Of course, we all, saw this, ahead of time. But let me just keep going. Let me just I'm not playing a game. I'm not talking too much. It's just like, okay, well, I finally have a Sideswipe. And I don't keep up with this stuff as much as y'all do. So if there was a Sideswipe in Wave 1, I didn't get him. I didn't keep up with the lists back then. I came late in the game, etc., etc. And it's like, he's an 8-star character. Now, you would think you would want to actually have a bunch of your Autobot cars battling together, right? Well, it's not that easy, because these guys, this Hound is 9 stars. This Sideswipe is 8 stars. Look over here at the majority of our Autobot cars from Wave 1. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. 6. All right. And then over here, oh, sorry for the jolt. Then we have our 7 cards with this Optimus Prime, who was actually from one of the starter decks. You got Sergeant Cup, who's for a wave 1, and then this Bumblebee, this lieutenant, least likely, most dangerous Bumblebee here is a level a 7-star, and then you have some 9-stars over here. Courageous Scout Bumblebee, Lone Wolf Mirage, and Wave 1 Dinobot. All right, and then over here you got some really big cards, my 10-star cards, and I have a 12-star Prime down here, and then that's why I had Sideswipe originally over here. Whoa, so sorry. Maybe I should pause and edit this as I go. Should have warned you. Have you had your Dramamine tonight yet? And I did. Oh, and Grimlock. That Grimlock. Oh, that wasn't Grimlock. That's Slug. This is Slug up here. This is Slug. That's right. He was a 9. Grimlock is a 10. He's with these guys. Is that, and I got a cheat sheet over here. Is like if say we want Hound to be paired up with some Autobots. And I'm sure it would be a little more viable with some of the Decepticons, but then a lot of the Decepticons also have some very high star counts that we like using, like Starscream and any of the Megatrons, etc. Unless it's a Megatron out of a starter pack, and that may be one of the few advantages of being able to have a low star Megatron is to be so you can have more characters in battle. And when it comes down to it, it doesn't come so much to the star counts, but at what your total hit points really are. From a lot of the games and mock games that I've played, and even the few that I've played with my son where he even cheats. He doesn't play by the rules. He doesn't like playing anyway. I hate that. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's say we have Sideswipe. Let's start with Sideswipe. He's level 8. Level 8. He's an 8-star card. So we can, if we go by the 25-star rule with no using no star cards in your battle deck, then we can have one of these guys, and one of these guys. That's it. 3 characters. 3 star characters, 8, 10, and 7, or 8, 9, and 8, or 8, 10. I did 8, 10, and 7 already. 8, 8, 7, and 9. You can have one of each of these. So you could have like maybe Mirage, Optimus, and Sideswipe, or you couldn't have 2 trucks. You couldn't have 7, 7, and 8. That's not going to work. That's too many. Or wait a minute. 14 and 8's 22. You could do that. And you have a few star cards in your deck. Or 8. You could have this Sideswipe, 2 of these guys, 2 6s, and a 5-star character. So you could bring in one of these guys. But why would you want to bring in a combiner if you can have, one of these guys that are 5-star, or a 4-star character, even if it's a possible, like a Battle Master that can turn into a weapon, and then you have room for a 1-star in your battle deck. There are some possibilities. And if you want to have the most characters, you could have 8, 5, 5, and 5 and 2 star cards, or 8, 6, 5, and 5 and 1 star card in your battle deck. So maybe that's what they're going for, is having only about two main characters in play, with maybe one little guy and one battle master that can die and get KO'd and turn into a weapon. Is that what they're going with this? I don't know. So it almost seems like to me, if we make it to wave 4, that they're going to have to up the star count to at least 30 to account for being able to have the amount of characters we want to have in play and be able to have at least one or two of these in play at the same time. That would be the best viable option. And I did even mention something to this effect, the possibility of Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, whoever, saying, okay, they have been making drastic changes with every single wave. They have. And it's just crazy. So, I don't see what the big difference now is. That they've added not just weaponizers or battle masters, that now we even have just tiny character cards for whatever sake of it, with low stats. So if we have these guys with low stats, then pick out a bunch of these guys with low stats and throw them in and have as many as you can. You could have 4 of these guys and 1 of these guys, or a weapon, or a battle master, etc. To be able to have 30 characters, or even the combiners. What are most of the combiners, except for maybe the Dinobots combiners are too many. But if any of the others, most of the others equal 25. Well, if you want one of these guys or a weapon, battle master weapon to be in the mix, you be able to do that and add it to your combiner team if you had a max of 30, etc., etc. So with the amount of changes that they've been doing, and yes, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to playing this game. Even I make mistakes because I'm pitting characters or teams together by myself, in the middle of the night. I'm falling asleep watching Golden Girls. Yeah, go ahead and make fun of me. And trying to play Transformers, the card game, at the same time. And then half falling asleep, etc., etc. So, and I don't. And then you have characters like Hound. This Hound is a decent Hound, except he is a 9-star character. Where's my Wave 1 Hound? Where'd he go? Ah, shucks. I got him covered up. Here he is. And he was an 8-star in Wave 1. And in this Hound, he could have a 7-star and a 9-star, or a 10 and a 6, or again, 7, 8, 9, a 10, him and a 6, whatever, or it may, like I said a second ago, him, a 10, and one of these guys. It comes down to having 2 big guys and 1 little guy. So they've got it, but that's not a whole lot of characters in play, is it? No, it's not. And then you have problems with having 12-star characters like this. 12 and 9 is 21. Well, then who else can you have in there? Where you can have, Tote, he's 4. Boom. That's it. Those 3 characters. That's all all who you're playing. You might as well be playing, um, 12-star Megatron and a 12-star Shockwave, and having just those two alone and a 1-star battle card. Boom, that's your hand. That's it. Um, it's almost like Wave 1 all over again. So they've got to make some changes. They've got to do something. Now I will be getting. I have ordered a box, just one. I mean, not just, and I'll be getting it tomorrow when I get to work, hopefully, and I'll see what I've got. But in the meantime, I do have these battle cards, and I know not many people care about battle cards too much, but most of these are common. Medic and Pep Talk, and with the new artwork. Uh, the Smoke Thrower, Repoipus. Let's see here. Dismantling Claw, Diagnosis. I said Repoipus on Poipus. Sturdy Armor, EMP Wave, now we're in the Uncommons, Anticipation Engine, Fuel Cache, which is the one-star card I have so far. I did get 2 rare cards, Take the Secret Action, Take Cover, and W5 Gyro Blaster. So, or Euro Blaster if you're eating at a Mediterranean restaurant. I love a good kebab. But, but did some videos about the upcoming cards, and which was fun doing, I will admit, and anticipating and wondering and trying to keep up with everything. But I wasn't really paying much attention to the star amounts. I really wasn't looking at that, and I wasn't looking at what some of these cards actually did. I wasn't really reading the fine print here. Some of the cards were big enough online where you could read it. Most of them weren't, so I didn't really look at that. I was just looking at the title, whether they were, what upgrades they were, if they were in action, and stuff like that. I wasn't really. There's the little Wave 3 logo, as opposed to the Wave 2 logo, which was square. There's Wave 2, and then Wave 1 was on its side like that, with only one mark on it. And so we've got the new one is a diamond again, but it's got 3 marks on it with a square in the middle. But I was looking at Gyro Blaster here, and this looks really cool, where you're forcing both you and your opponent to where you can only flip 2 battle cards. That's it. The upgrades do not count, which is really nice. I like that. I actually like that limitation, because what this game has really turned into is a upgrade, a battle of the upgrades. When we're playing this game, what are we doing? We're trying to add upgrades, and what do a lot of the battle cards do? Removing your opponent's upgrades and upgrading yourself, etc., etc. And that was sort of the whole deal with swap parts, was swapping your upgrades from one character to another. They just made the mistake of saying, "Oh yeah, when you put it, every time you put it on the character, yeah, it reactivates again." Well, they should have said, "No, it doesn't do that." But they made that mistake, and then they had to ban the card. Whatever. But I foresee some changes coming down the road. We'll see, depending on what kind of cards these new little character cards bring to the table, and see how they work, as well as cards like secret action cards. What just happened? No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, damn this camera. I'm so sorry, people. Okay, now that's in focus. That's in focus. Thank you. Um, you, getting used to using the secret action cards will sounds fun. It just sounds like you're just putting them up, down and play, but someone said you hide them under your characters. So who knows? Yeah, it just says play this card face down at the end of your opponent's turn. Put it into your scrap pile. So it's only good for when you're defending, for the most part, and whether it's revealed or not, depending on what your opponent does. So that's that. That's pretty much all I had to say. And how with the stars that I have so far, and I only got 2 booster packs. I only got 2 big cards, 2 little cards, and some. And oh my gosh, 2 boosters and only 12 battle cards. Dang. The other booster sets, if you got at least 7 of them, you could have a deck to play with. But now with these, you're going to have to at least buy 8 boosters just to have enough to make a deck if you haven't gotten into this game yet. So, and thankfully, of all things to say, is that my Walmart still has some Wave 2 cards, and they have plenty of Wave 3 boosters. I just wish they would re-release Wave 1, because I did, like I said, I came late into things, and I've got a lot of good cards. I got a few on eBay, but not too many. And thanks, guys, for these things. They're neat, a little hard to use, but they're neat. Sometimes I just normally, just use a card upside down and just go back and forth with it. But whatever. Because I only got 5 of those, and I don't want to keep going in and out and in and out with. Yes, I'm sorry. This is my neuropathic foot. With taking these in and out, because they're not easy to get back out once you put them in. I will admit that. So with that, that's all I got to say. Oh yeah, my ugly cheat sheets here. So, but yeah, I really think that they're going to have to change. Oh, sorry for the laundry over there. The star system to help accommodate us to be able to play more than just 2 big characters and 1 or 2 of these cards. Of course, the choices are up to us, the player, how we want to play, how we want to annihilate our opponent and show off what we have, which is the whole purpose of this game, it seems like, instead of just playing the game and having fun, which is how I like doing it, poisonally. But that's all I'm bringing to the table. So, play the game, have fun. Wave 3 is out, and just be careful and play fair and in the best way you can, considering we have more rules to go by, so, and more things to figure out with each wave that comes out. And unless I heard Wreck and Rule guys wrongly, maybe they were saying that Joe's box of 4, his case of 4 boxes, let me put it that way, that he got in the mail, maybe that's all he was getting. But Brian was out, Joe was there, he was opening up his boxes and putting everything out on the blasted table, and of course they were admitting to being greedy. And Brian had his 1 box he was opening, and when Brian came in, I thought they made mention of something to the effect about, this is it. After this wave, this is it. So I don't know if maybe, I almost took it as if Hasbro wasn't making the card game anymore, or maybe this is all they were going to collect, or maybe this was all they were going to buy of Wave 3. But from what a little bit I've been hearing, a little bit that I've been seeing on some people's videos, that getting some of the rares and super rares seems to be a little easier with Wave 3. So we'll see what happens. Maybe you'll get an Ultra Magnus or an Ultra Magnus armor, and at least anyone can use the Ultra Magnus armor, any Autobot or truck or something like that. I forgot what the card said. Um, so if you get the armor and you don't have Ultra Magnus, you're not just stuck with a card you can't play, you know. So at least it's a little more playable that way. And I am repeat, not going to videotape me opening my one little box and showing you everything I've got. I don't do that crap. Of course, I've got all this displayed out here, but it was all for the numbering system in relation to the new cards I got this weekend, and how you can mix it up, and how it seems like you can't mix it up, because they're making the star cards a little more than what they used to be, unless that's just me. And even then, we have, oh gosh, I'm over 25 minutes. Um, this hound is an 8-star, and this hound is a 9-star, and he has nothing here. There's nothing on his vehicle side. Really? And he's 9 stars? Really? Uh, yeah, he's got one more health. Whoop-de-doo. But he's a 9-star card. um, so we'll take it as it comes. Like I said, play, have fun. To me, that's all the game is about, is having fun and playing as much as you can, and being able to spend time with your friends and fans alike. So have a blessed night. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I did not mean to go this long. Good night.